Good day and welcome to Body Positive Pilates. If you are joining me today and you are around about your second trimester in pregnancy, where you still or are starting to experience some discomfort while lying on your belly or on your back, then this one is just for you. Alright, so we are going to work with the gym ball today. We'll get onto our shin bones, onto the tibias, and when we get into this position, we just want to make sure that our weight isn't necessarily right on the tips of our knee joint. We want to make sure that our weight is shifted evenly between our ankles and our knees. We're going to start with the ball in front of the body, and with this we can just start to take a deep breath in, and when we exhale, I want you to imagine just lifting your pelvic floor gently upwards, and then inhale and release the pelvic floor back down. So imagine squeezing, drawing a little bit of a blueberry up the floor, from the floor with a string, and then inhale and release that blueberry back down. So exhale, imagine that little bit of a lift and release, and then we'll go one more. Exhale, lift, and inhale, release. From there on, we can take a deep breath in, and on our exhale, just allow the ball to roll forward as we send the sits bones back towards the heels. We'll hold for a breath here, and then exhale. And I want you to scoop your sits bones in as if you are rounding an arch, or not arching, creating a bridge through the lower back, and continue that roll up all the way back up to kneeling. Taking a breath in to prepare. We're going to exhale, send the ball forward as the hips send back. Inhale to hold the stretch, and exhale, start rounding through the lower back, through the shoulders, and all the way up back into kneeling. We'll go about 2 more, just working with your own breath, allowing the body to just start moving gently. We're going to keep the final one out at the end. So we'll exhale, reach, inhale, hold, and with the next exhale, just think about drawing your pelvic floor a little bit up, and inhale, release back down, and exhale, connect, and inhale, release. So we're doing a few pelvic floor engagement in this position, very good for prepping for labor, especially to learn to release that pelvic floor. And let's go 2 more. Exhale, connect, inhale, release, and a final one, and release. We'll slowly roll it back up to the top, and we can turn facing towards the front of the room so that we've got our mat to provide some support to the knees. Alright, we're going to bring the ball to the side of the body and reach the other arm out. And then from there on, just moving towards your ball, coming into a nice deep side bend. Inhale to hold, exhale to lift, inhale to prep, and exhale to fold on over. So we're essentially just creating some space through those intercostal spaces, creating some extra space between the rib cage and the pelvis. Let's go for just a final 2. Exhale, move. Inhale to enjoy the stretch. Exhale to return back to the top. And inhale to prepare. We'll go one last one. Reach the ball away as we come into our side bend. And back up to neutral. We'll just start with the other side in order to prepare the body for our progression. So let's go, even pressure through both sides of the shin bones, reaching the arm out to the side, and let's go ahead, reach that ball as far as you can. We'll bring the top arm over, hold for a breath in, and on the exhale, return back to the top. Inhale to prepare, exhale to connect and reach over, inhale to hold, and exhale to bring it back. So if you do feel any discomfort over here within the belly, just bring it into a side bend without reaching the ball too far away. And let's go for a final 2. Exhale, reach, Inhale, hold. Exhale, back, and inhale, prep. All right, so we'll bring the ball back to the original side. We'll glue it nice and tightly to our thigh, and we're just going to trust our ball. So we're going to allow our hips to just sink in and extend the other leg out to the side. From there on, you can wrap your rib cage onto the ball and use your forearm for a little bit of support onto that ball. When we are on our bottom leg, we've got the pressure on the side of our shin bone, so not directly in the center of the leg, but a little bit more to the lateral side. All right, so if you need to adjust, please do. And we're going to start just coming into drawing the knee into the chest. So we're going to exhale and then reach the leg back out, and exhale in, and inhale, reach the leg back out. So we're essentially pressing the ball away with this forearm. We've got a lot of length happening through the chest and through the tip of the head. And let's go for a final 3 and 2 and a final 1. All right, from there on, we're going to do little lifts. Just tap the toe off the floor and release, and tap. Let's go 5, 4, 3, last 2, good, 1 more. You can lower the leg, plant the foot down firmly on the floor, and we're going to reach the upper body over, just lengthening through the top side of that body. You're going to prop up just to a point where you can support your head in your hand. Feel free to adjust the bottom leg if needed. You're going to reach the top arm overhead, and then with that, and exhale, bringing the arm and the leg together and release back out. So if this lever is too long for you or this is too tough, feel free to bend the leg back, and then just with a shorter lever, continue with that same movement. There we go, we've got 4 more to go. So just in whichever position you prefer, let's go for another 3 and 2. Good, 1 more, hold it right, your hand goes onto the hip, and we're going to pull it in and reach it back to the wall behind you, and tuck it in and reach it back. Let's go 4 and lengthen, 3 and lengthen. So the hip stabilizers are working in this bottom hip, so if you feel them firing up, there's a reason why. Let's go 2 more and release that leg down. All right, keeping the pressure of the upper body into the ball, we're going to extend this bottom leg out to the back. If this is not comfortable for you, you can go ahead and keep it where it was. We're just going to do some upper back engagement. So from here on, we're going to open up the arm, reach it out nice and wide, and exhale, return back to the ball. Inhale, expand, and exhale, lower. Once again, option to keep that lower leg bent if you need that extra bit of support. Let's go 2 and 1. All right, from here on, taking the arm, passing the fingers behind the back of the hip, and reach all the way back up to the ear. We're going to take it down. Exhale, inhale, reach back up. Let's go 3 and reach, 2 and reach. We're going to take this into a circle. So down to the hips, around to the face, up to the ear, and back down to the hip. Let's go 3 and around. 2, I've got a little bit of wind giving me a bit of extra instability over here. 2 more and a final 1. All right, we're going to open the legs, or whichever position you are. We're going to bring ourselves down onto the floor. We'll separate our legs into our mermaid, but you can separate the feet even wider apart, the foot and the knee. We're going to take the ball and just reach it across the knee, coming into a forward bend, and just enjoy the stretch for a few moments. We can go ahead and just start to roll up, and we can make our way into kneeling again with the ball placed on the other side. So once again, really put this trust exercise into play allow your hips to just sink in to your ball. We're going to extend the other leg out and to the outer edge of the mat. From there on, just making sure the pressure is on the outer part of your lower leg and not necessarily directly on the front of the bone. We're going to go ahead, let me just move this out of the way. We'll go ahead, just place the rib cage down onto the ball, but we've got a nice big space underneath the armpit. Our forearm is pressing into the ball to keep us nice and lifted. Alright, so from here on we'll just start by drawing that knee into the shoulder and to reach it back down to the floor. So we're starting with a smaller range of motion, a little bit less gravity to work against. We'll go for number 3. Exhale to lift, inhale to lengthen. 2, good, and then 1 more. All right, we'll hold it at the outer edge, tiny little lifts, just up and down and up and down. Once again, if you're feeling it too much, feel free to bend that leg and continue with that lift with a smaller lever. 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go ahead and wrap ourselves around, just giving that top side a good, lovely, deep stretch. And we're going to bring it up to a point where we can tuck our hand in behind the back of our head. We want to imagine this nice long spine. Feel free to adjust the leg if you need to. And then we'll start by opening this arm up towards the ear. From there on, exhale, bringing the arm and leg together, and inhale and reach back down. Exhale to connect. Once again, option to bend that lower leg back. Keep the lever short to decrease the effort. All right, we're going to go for another 4 and lengthen. 3, last 2, hold for 1. Let's go ahead, bring the hand onto the ball. We're going to drive the knee into the chest and reach it out and back to the wall behind you, squeezing that glute max. Bring it in and reach it back. Inhale and exhale. 4 and reach. I know it's burning, we're nearly done. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, place that foot down to the floor. We're going to extend this bottom leg down or out, but if this is where you want to keep it, please feel free to do that. All right, so from there on, we're going to extend our top arm forward. We've got both feet putting pressure into the floor, and then we'll inhale, bring the arm up to the shoulder, and exhale and bring it down. Inhale to open and exhale to lower. Option to keep the lower leg bent for that additional bit of support. 4 and down. 3, last 2, good, and a final 1. All right, holding it up at the top. Let's take the pinky finger down to the leg. Hello, baby boy. And reach the arm or the bicep up towards the ear, down to the hips and up to the ear. There we go. 5 and lengthen. 4, and let's go for those last 3, and we'll take the last one into those arm circles. So when you're ready, you're going to take it down to the hip, draw that circle back towards the face and out to the hip again. Exhale to lift, inhale to open, exhale to lower, and inhale to lift. There we go. Let's go 3 and back, 2, and a final 1. All right, you can place the hand back onto the ball, allow ourselves to lower the hips to the floor, open the legs up into our mermaid, and we'll just move across to the knee and gently come into a forward fold, allowing yourself to just sink into that hip, giving it a good deep stretch. We can slowly work our way back up to kneeling. For this one, the ball is going to go behind the back of the body. And once again, practicing those thrust exercises, we really want to lean our weight into the ball as if our bum wants to elevate away from the floor. And that's going to be our starting position. We've got a little bit of gap underneath the hips, and our whole rib cage, lower back and pelvis is rested against the ball. Now I'm going to bring my hands to the back of my head for this one, to keep my shoulders open, to keep my chest open. And then from there I'm going to exhale. I'm going to press my feet away as if I'm pressing the floor away from myself, and then gently allow myself to lower the hips back down. Exhale, press the floor away, and then inhale and release. So we want to add that pelvic floor lift. We're going to exhale, give that pelvic floor a little bit of a lift, and then inhale, just relax everything. And if your belly is already showing, you'll definitely see how that relax allows you to make your belly more visible, and how that connection draws the baby back in. Let's go for a final 2 and press away, and a final 1. All right. So we tend to get hunched over a little bit as our posture changes. So with this, you can keep your legs bent or you can keep them extended. The choice is yours. And we're just going to allow the upper body to reach over the ball. Inhale, lengthen the arms out behind us, and then slowly bring it back. Head and shoulders lift. So we can make it one flowing movement. We can inhale, reach overhead, and exhale, bring it down and around, lifting the head and shoulders, and then releasing them back over. Exhale to round, and inhale to lift. Let's go 2 more. Hi Nash. Everybody meet Nash. If you haven't met him before, he's just had a good play with water and a ball with his dad. Alright, we can bring it all the way back down into that hover. From there on, we're going to keep our hands behind the back of the head. As we elevate the hips even further from the floor, we're going to lower the head down to the ball. We're going to squeeze the butt cheeks up, and then without letting the head and shoulders lift, we're going to just wrap the lower back around the ball, allowing the hip bones to soften, and then zip the glutes back up as we exhale to press. Inhale to lower, and exhale to squeeze and lift. Let's go 4 and squeeze, 3 and squeeze. So little movement at the upper body and the lower legs, with most of the movement just happening at those hips. 2, 1, 2, hold it over here. We're going to walk our right heel up and down, left heel up and down for 5, 4, 3 more, last 2, final 1, and bring it down. Allow your hips to come all the way down onto the floor. Gently draw yourself up off the ball. You can bring the ball around and scooch back just to create some space on the front of your mat. And we're going to come into our spine stretch. So elevating the toes in towards the chest. We're going to go ahead, scoop the belly button back as the ball heads in the opposite direction. Bringing the ears between the upper arms. Take a deep breath in. And with an exhale, slowly start to stack the spine back up, low back, mid back, shoulders in the head. And we're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale to reach. Inhale to hold. And exhale to draw it back. We're going to do 2 more, just working with your breath. The last one, we're going to hold at the outer edge, so you can exhale, hold. And then as we just continue moving with our breath, you can sway the ball from side to side, looking underneath the top arm, swaying around the other way, looking underneath the other arm. And trying to keep the sits bones down as much as possible to deepen the stretch behind the lateral complex of the low back. Let's go 2 and 1 more each way. There we go. Alright, you can go ahead and start to roll all the way back up. we've got a few more exercises in store for you. So we're going to scooch the bum down. We're going to bring the feet onto the ball. Now if you are uncomfortable on your lower back, we won't be spending a lot of time here, and we'll be moving. We won't be in parallel to the floor the whole time. So this is a nice exercise you can do throughout your entire pregnancy for the back line of your body. You don't have to use the ball. You can leave the ball and continue with normal shoulder bridge if that's where you're at. But with a ball, if you are comfortable with it, this is actually just very lovely to bring the low back into traction in any case. Just hover the feet onto the ball, wrap the balls of the feet around, and bring the arms out to the side. Now making sure we've got a nice long neck position, our shoulders are open. You can even turn your palms facing up if you need that little bit more of an expansion, but we're also going to use the arms to press down into the floor to engage the rest of the posterior chain. So with the exhale, we're going to press the arms into the floor, press the feet down into the ball, and with that our hips are going to lift off. As we exhale, inhale to hold, exhale to roll back down, and inhale to prepare. Pressing down with the feet, squeezing the butt cheeks together to lift only as high as you feel comfortable, and gently release back down. So we're going to do 5 more of these. Once again, you don't have to use the ball. You can just put your feet down onto the floor and continue with normal shoulder bridge if that's where you're at today. Let's go 4, and inhale, 3, and down. Remember to really squeeze the butt cheeks together. Good. And a final one. All right, well done. Let's give those hamstrings a quick stretch. You're going to draw the heel up to the sky, drawing the toes in towards the chest, and you can extend the other leg out, and we'll hold here for a few breaths. You can go ahead, switch the legs, extend the leg out, toes in towards you, and allow the other leg to move out. All right, we're going to slowly transition onto the ball. So if those abs are not working with you like they used to anymore, you can roll onto your side, and we're going to prop up onto the ball. So you can place your ball in the center of the mat, open those legs up a little bit wider than the hips, and we're going to target the shoulders a little bit more. We've done quite a bit of lower body work. We don't want to forget the upper body. So with breastfeeding, we're going to be tend to anteriorly rotate those shoulders. So we really want to get them open, engage through the back of the body, and also with the breast tissue getting more, it's already a lot more gravity working on the front of the body. So we're going to start just gluing the elbows down to the sides of the rib cage, and we're going to start opening the arms out to the side and bringing them back to center. So we've got this rotation of the femur inside the shoulder joint, coming into that external rotation. While we're sitting on the ball, we're thinking about having our sits bones press into the ball and our head elevating away from them. And let's go for a final 3, 2, and 1. We're going to reach those arms out and back and in and rotate, out and back and in and rotate, 4 and in. Good. And you can even keep that little the pelvic floor lifted slightly from the ball to keep that primary sling engaged. 2 more and down. We're going to hold it out to the edge, 1 more and hold. Now from there on, we're going to bring the arms in and we're going to reach one arm up and switch and switch and good, and 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring both the arms up. We're going to pull them out down to the rib cage, and then inhale, reach them back up. Exhale, pull, inhale, reach, 4 and back, 3, last 2 Good, and we're going to hold them, elbows in line with the shoulders. We're going to take those arms down, reach forward, bring them back, and lift, forward, reach, back, lift, 5, lengthen, in, up, 4. You got this, I know, the shoulder blades are working, that's what we want. 3 more. Let's go for a final 2. Good, and 1 more. All right, keep them pulled back. We're just going to swish one arm down and one arm to lift. 8, 7, nearly there, 6, 5 more. Who knew working the arms without weights could bring on the burn? 3 more, 2, and 1. Bring this other arm up, bring those elbows together, can interlace your fingers, zip the elbows up, and let's press up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Give those arms a shake if they need it. We're going to go ahead and do a nice big shoulder stretch, so arm coming across the chest, other arm drawing it in towards you, and you can look away from the shoulder and just hold this for a few deep breaths in and out. And switch the arms around the other way, bringing the other arm across the chest and looking over the shoulder. Can even allow the chin to tuck slightly down to the shoulder. Slowly releasing it out. You can bring the hands to the hips. We're going to do a few pelvic circles, pelvic clocks. So we're going to allow the hips to go around to the back, come around to the front, around to the side, and back around the back. So just allow those hips to move flowingly, as if you're drawing a circle with a ball on the floor. And we're going to go ahead and switch those circles around the other way, just creating some movement through the lower back and the hips. Good, and we're going to go for a final 2 and 1. Let's bring it into the middle. I'm going to just demonstrate from the side, but you can stay facing towards the screen. We're just going to go ahead and scoop our sit bones in under us and allow the sit bones to stick back out. So you can place your hands on your knees or on your hips, however you prefer. We're going to make this movement even bigger. So with an exhale, we're going to go ahead and curl the chin down to the chest, around the back of the body. I want you to open up your chest, turn the palms up to the ceiling as we lift the chest in the opposite direction. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, curl and round. And exhale, reach to lift. I'm just going for a final 2, however many you need. And 1. Alright, we'll bring it all into center. I'm going to do a nice little shoulder shrug as I inhale. Exhale, allow the shoulders to open up and down. And just as many as you need to end off the session. Just taking this last moment, just giving thanks to your body for allowing it to grow this special little miracle happening inside, and for all the hard work it does. Hope you've had a wonderful session with me. Have a body positive day.